Hey guys, thank you for joining us for another exciting week of Yomo. This is the Year of Magical Learning podcast. So today we're on a brand new book. So we wrapped up the Think Like a Monk part 5 last week. So today we're on a new book, and I don't think I have read this one yet. It's
I'm
the
sure you have
book
not read this.
Pickleball and the Art of Living.
I'm
So
kidding.
that's a combination that I think Chris may be, the kind of Chrissy kind of book. It's not
This is
my book, so it's probably out of my realm of expertise. So we'll see.
it is. I'm sure you have not read this book though. It is called Pickleball and the Art of Living: The Power of Positive Dinking by Mike Branon. Do you know what dinking
Nope,
is?
gonna ask you.
So there's a shot in pickleball that's called a dink, D-I-N-K.
Dunk is
Dink is, oh my God. So there's this area of the court called the kitchen. It's like 3 feet from the net on either side. It's called the kitchen. You can't go into the kitchen.
unless you're the cook, right?
Unless you're the pickle cook, you can go into the kitchen. No, I'm kidding.
What if I want to
there,
make pickle?
no, still can't go in the kitchen. No, nobody can go in the kitchen. Sorry, you can actually go in. I'm not gonna
So
explain
who
this.
builds the kitchen? If you can't go in the kitchen, no one can go in the kitchen.
No one cooks. It's a cook-free kitchen. There's this little area called the kitchen where you're technically not allowed to hit a ball out of the air. The reason why it exists is, like in tennis, you have like serve and volleying in tennis where you can serve the ball, run right up to the net, and get right on top of it if you want to, and just hit the ball. Well, in pickleball, the courts are so small. There's this little area called the kitchen where you can't go past this 3-foot line to the net. So that prevents people from running right up on top of the net on this tiny little court and just smacking a ball right in somebody's face. So like you just can't hit the ball out of the air in this kitchen area.
You do hit it, it's a foul.
Yeah, it's the other person's point if you hit it while you're in the kitchen out of the air. So there's this shot that was invented, it was, that they call a dink, where it's like basically a tiny little drop shot. You just hit barely over the net from one side of the kitchen to the other side of the kitchen, because people can't really hit it hard because they can't go into the kitchen. Like it's just like a neutral shot that you can hit it.
In the kitchen area?
Yes, you can hit the ball in the kitchen area, and if it bounces in the kitchen area, you can walk into the kitchen area to hit it out of it.
So
just
you
cannot
can't
hit
go
it
in the
out of the air.
kitchen.
Yes, you can go in the kitchen.
At first you told me no one can go in the kitchen. Now
You cannot hit a ball out of the air in the kitchen. You can hit a ball off of the bounce in the kitchen.
But can you still go into the kitchen?
If it bounces, yes.
If
the ball bounces in the kitchen, you can go in the kitchen to hit it.
Okay. How big's the kitchen? It's only 3 feet, so I imagine if it bounces that you don't have much space to kind of go do
That's the point. That's why you have to hit this tiny little dink shot over the net again. That's where you get into these dinking shots. Like it's just like tiny little taps over the net, because nobody can really do anything with it. So it's kind of like a neutral shot, right? You want to hit a ball hard to somebody that's standing right at the net, but you can't. Yeah, exactly. It's a defensive
underhand dunk. Because you get dink it over like
it's just like a little tap. It's like a tap.
Yeah, you get
like
tap it so they instead of go pow on it slam on it. You go hard and you smack it down.
Yes,
Think is
controlled tap shot. Exactly. So that's why it's called the power.
Okay, I learned something today. Dink, dink and dunk.
The dinking is like super unique to pickleball.
Power shot?
No, it's not a power shot. It's an anti-power shot. It's a dink.
But it's a power shot in the game because the power shot to me means it's a shot that hard to defend.
It's not hard to defend. It's hard to be aggressive off of it. Does that make sense? You can't hit because you're below the net and you're only like a foot or two away from the net, and you have to let it bounce. So you really can't get the ball up and over the net again to hit it hard at somebody. You have to just dink it back over the net. So it's
can you hit it like real hard?
You can, but it'll probably go out of bounds because the court's not that big. And you could hit it straight up in the air if you wanted to do that, but somebody on the other side of the court would hit an overhead right back at you or something like that.
If it's in the kitchen, if you hit it straight up,
yes,
just barely over, it's still in the kitchen. They cannot slam it.
Well, if you hit it really straight up high in the air and it landed right in the kitchen, it would bounce up probably high enough after the bounce they could come into the kitchen and smack it down.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm a novice making all these rookie mistakes.
It's a good question. These are good questions.
Why can you do that?
It's a valid question. But so the reflection of this one is don't forget to tell your elephant great job once in a while. So
from that dink?
No, not about the dinking. I'll explain. So
it has nothing to do with dinking.
No, the book is called The Power of Positive Dinking. It's a joke. So anyway, this book is about a guy that wrote a pickleball instruction book, but he's also about the art of living and how pickleball reflects life sometimes.
Like the Zen motorcycle maintenance.
Like, he likes to play pickleball, and so he's drawing corollaries to life, plus while providing a little bit of instruction on pickleball in the book. Like it's it's a dumb book. Like, you don't want to read it. Like, you're not going to be interested in it. Now, the funny thing is, we talked about this a few weeks ago, right? The idea of learning is a leading indicator on what matters to you most in this in life. You remember that question?
Yes.
So obviously, as you know, I'm a lifelong tennis player, and a lot of the reflections in the past have been about books about tennis, a lot of stories about tennis, things like that. Well, the past few years, I've been kind of intrigued by this new game called Pickleball. And it might be one of those games where I could call myself a pickleball player someday. I'm getting pretty good at it. I play pretty regularly and I enjoy it. It seems like something that makes my elephant pretty happy. And I actually, these days, as you know, I'm kind of talking about my injuries all the time from tennis. Pickleball can be played by anybody and everybody. This is the beauty of the sport, is like you can have like a 75-year-old grandpa out there with COPD and he can still have a blast, or you can have somebody that's really young and athletic and can still be competitive with each other. Like it's like one of those games where you don't have to be a super athlete necessarily.
Can dunk in the kitchen.
Exactly. It's more about touch. Like, hell, I was playing tennis tonight actually down at my local courts, just like, a block away. And there was like 40 people down there playing pickleball on the tennis courts. Most people don't even play tennis on the tennis courts anymore. They just bring out their own little pickleball nets and play on the tennis courts all day long. It's an epidemic, man. There's people playing pickleball everywhere. It is the fastest growing sport in the country. And like, I've never seen courts like this packed ever in my life playing tennis.
You can play tennis.
It's a sport where you have to have athleticism and you have to have, skill that takes years to develop. Like pickleball, you can be a first timer and go out there and learn how to play a pretty proficient game in 10 minutes of learning. Sure, you could go play pickleball, I'm sure.
I mean, it sounds like fun.
It is fun. I mean, it's a very social game too. A lot of the people are really, really social. So anyway, like tennis has been my first love and my lifelong passion, and something I've reflected on and wrote a lot of lessons around. Well, pickleball is a learning indicator on, learning is a leading indicator on what matters to you. And clearly this is on my brain a little bit these days, and I'm intrigued. So I picked up this book about pickleball and the art of living, right? And that was how I ended up, finding this book. But the funny thing is, I can tell this is becoming important to me. Right before I wrote this reflection and finished this book, one of my best friends, Adam, who lives in Florida, I go down there every year to go visit him. And almost every year, we always just go play golf, right? Like that's always been our thing. And there's a dirty little secret in my life of I fucking hate golf. Like I've always played with my friends. I'm just a competitive person. And I'm actually not that bad at it. I can shoot like a round in the 90s,
You should.
No, I hate it. I hate it. It's a game. I actually don't like the game at all. There's really nothing. Every once in a while you hit a really good shot and it feels kind of okay. But like on the whole, I don't want to go spend 4 hours of my day hitting 70 shots and not even and only enjoying 3 of them, Like it's just not hitting 100 shots, I'm not shooting par on a course. But the only thing about golf that I enjoy is maybe having a drink while I'm hanging out with my friends. Like I don't need to waste $70 on green fees and spend thousands of dollars on my golf clubs
and a polo.
And a polo. Yeah.
And a women's size polo.
and wear a fucking polo shirt everywhere I go. I burned all my polo shirts when I was leaving Catholic school.
You cannot go in there without polo.
Oh, I actually hate golf. So my friend, when I was going down there, he was like, "Hey, what do you want to do when we're down here?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know," because he was like, "You want to go golf?" And I was like, "You know what? You want to go play some pickleball?" He goes, "Sure, I guess." I mean, I don't know. I've never played before. I mean, I'm okay with that. And I was like, "Cool." So, this is one of my best friends or whatever. So I just packed up a couple of my pickleball paddles and I took them on the airplane with me. And, we played pickleball a few times down there. And he actually really loved it. Next time he came up here, he was like, "Hey, I want to go play pickleball." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
You get somebody hooked.
Exactly. So the fun part about it is, like I said, learning is a leading indicator of what matters to you in life. And these are the things that I'm seeing myself wanting to go play pickleball more. I play now at least once or twice a week down the local courts. I'm getting more and more competitive with people and meeting more people that want to be more competitive in this. So it's like, it's becoming a thing in my life potentially, and I'm enjoying it. But here's the funny thing about this book when I was listening to it. Like, if there's one thing that I've always been really, really good at my entire life, whether it be tennis, pickleball, in my professional world, it has always been holding myself to a really, really high standard. And meaning whenever I fuck up, like I tell myself, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, get your shit together. Like, you hear me on the tennis court where I'm like, focus, get your shit in the game. Like, like yelling at myself, like, what are you, like, how are you missing these fucking shots? Like, I mean, you can hear me yelling at myself, and telling my elephant, like, get your shit together. We've talked about this of like going through the mind of a match of Chris, like, with, when I'm mad at my elephant, right? So this book made me think about something that would hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I'm really, really good at pointing out flaws and faults of my elephant, right? I'm always always game for that. If I make any mistakes, I hold myself to a high standard, and I will tell my elephant that. And that sucks. I mean, I'm probably pretty abusive to my elephant, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
Elephant.
you know what I never do?
You never appreciate the rights it done for you.
Exactly.
9 rights that they done for you, you reprimand him for the one
Never.
wrong he
I could
done.
hit a beautiful 85-mile-an-hour forehand down the line, passing somebody on the run, and I
You
go,
sound like an Asian parent.
I,
And a B.
a fucking beat. You know, what are you doing? Get your shit together.
It stands for beating. Get your shit together. It's for
Exactly.
beating.
No, I'm not even joking. Like I can hit the most beautiful shot in tennis, and I don't even blink. I'm just like, yep, I was supposed to do that. And then when I make a mistake, I'm like, what are you doing? You know. So
A
this
is
book,
for average.
that's- there's this guy on TikTok actually, or Facebook Reels or whatever, who's like pretends like he's an Asian parent. It's hilarious. I gotta show it to you sometime. You'll probably enjoy it a lot. What I learned in this book, and what I had a big aha was, I was like, man, I never ever tell my elephant good job. I never do it. And after I read this book, and he was talking about the pickleball and the art of living, and he was like, don't forget to tell yourself, good work out there every once in a while. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So for the past, this is about a year ago when I read this, like I don't do it all the time, but whenever I remember this book, I'm always like, oh, Chris, all right, you're gonna go play tennis, you're gonna go play pickleball. Like when you do something good, like give yourself a high five or something. Be like, damn, that was good, elephant. You know what I mean? Like that was impressive. Like I'm impressed with myself. It gets weird if you do that out loud. Like you hit a really good shot and you're like, whoa,
But
Chris.
people do it all the time. I mean, people go, yeah, right? And they go, yeah, whatever. That's doing the same thing. So I don't see how that's being weird, right?
It's
When you
it,
hit a good shot, people do all kind of like celebration poses and dances or whatever. I mean, I don't think it's weird at all.
not people that I know, not super competitive people. They just expect that. Like they do not. If you
A
did
is
that,
for average.
exactly. If you did that on a tennis court, where like if you're in a really heated point that's a really important point or something like that, and you win the point, like you could sometimes you might hear people go, yeah, come on, like I'm excited about, like I made progress toward what I want to do. They're not cheering on the shot that they hit. They are cheering on like they
Well,
accomplished
I think that's you have to be objective. When you do things right, you say, yeah, good job. When you do things wrong, well, you need to do better. That's the way things go. But you have to look at it. Like, your elephant does 9 things right.
Yeah,
And
a lot of
not a single appreciation of gesture. And one thing he did wrong. That's 1%. And you harper on him about the shot that he made. That it's like, okay, once in a while, yeah, allowed to mess up.
right.
Because I can't do everything. Maybe I was distracted by your yelling, and it wasn't my fault. It was your fault. You're
And there's
yelling at
something to
me for
that.
thing I didn't.
There's something to that. I mean, there really is. It's funny
So
that I
imagine
like,
you have a parent that does that.
be awful.
Think about the elephant.
I just finished a book about this recently. It's called The Talent Code. It's about how talent is nurtured, nature versus nurture, and what grows myelin and what doesn't, and like how do you fire more neurons better, and like like yada yada yada. Anyway, it was a really good book. I enjoyed it. The very end of it though, he was summing up some of his thoughts, and he was like, Carol Dweck, who's like a famous psychologist that does like, I think she's like the growth mindset person or whatever. She said, if I have one piece of advice for parents out there, it's watch your kids closely, figure out what they love to do, and then give them positive encouragement to keep doing that, because like it'll keep reinforcing the myelin growth, and
But isn't that what
recognize
we
it
do
early
at
on.
company?
It is exactly what we do. Honestly, this is a lot of what we talk about, letting people be who they want to be and do what they like to do, and then encouraging them to do that more and telling them good job when they do it. You're exactly right. I should be telling my elephant good job. I should tell myself good job, just like I tell my son good job when he hits a pickleball that looks like an actual shot or something like that. And this is something I learned from this book. It was a good reminder, and I'm glad we're having this conversation right now, because like I'm struggling so bad with tennis because of this injury that I have right now, and it's driving me nuts. And I feel really down on myself because I'm not playing the way that I want to play. So like I'm pretty pissed at my elephant right now, honestly. Like my elephant's
I
letting me
mean,
down. But
you injure your elephant.
that's
Think
pretty
about the logic. Is that you have Asian parent logic.
pretty fucked up, isn't it? No, yeah,
It
you're
is
right.
fucked
Yeah.
up. What is
So
wrong with you?
I don't know. It's because we just love to focus on the bad stuff, right? Like we never enjoy the good stuff usually. So that's the reflection anyway. It was pickleball and the art of living, and it's like, don't forget to tell your elephant, great job every once in a while. And so the question was, are you giving yourself some time to enjoy moments when things go right in your life and you're like, damn, I coded like a motherfucker today and I was really good, like, man,
Yeah.
that line of code was great. Like, like, good job, True. Like,
You think about it. If your parent tells you, Chris, whatever you do, it sucks, regardless of what you do, regardless how you did it, regardless how it turned out, it sucks.
yep.
Do you think you're going to be good at that?
No. Well, even if you are, it'll be despite of that. It'll be because of that. Like my parents always told me I sucked, so like I'm gonna try harder. Like it's like
But
shit like
that
that.
doesn't work majority of the time. The thing is,
No.
there's always these exceptions to the rule. But generally, I mean, like, I don't know, you know how to train dogs. Do you know how to train dogs?
Yeah, you told me this one before. Let me see
Okay,
if I can remember.
so you train dogs and
Yeah.
train elephant, and train any animal. It's just the same concept,
Right.
right? One way is positive reinforcement. Another way is negative reinforcement. For
Mhm.
example, if a dog pee, you smack the heck out of it.
Right.
Or the other one, if the dog did the right thing, you give him treat. If they did the wrong thing, you don't give any treat. This is how you train. This is how people train dogs. So which one do you think learns faster? Like, let's say you want to potty train a dog. Pick one.
I mean, I would actually think that the negative one would be faster.
No,
It's not faster.
no.
I didn't say it was
It,
more effective, but
it would take months for that dog to understand, and every
negative.
time it's like a month. If you want to train the dog correctly, it take them a week, 2 weeks to get them, like, for puppies. But
Interesting.
for your negative behavior, it's hard. And even after it's trained, it's still confused. It doesn't know what the heck it's supposed to do. Right? And you take him go outside with the pee and poop, he's still afraid to poop. He's still afraid to pee because he don't know when you're gonna smack the shit out of him. He doesn't know. Because the thing is, you are talking to an elephant. Your elephant doesn't speak English. As if you're talking to a dog. The dog does not speak English. It speaks behavior.
Green.
So
Yeah.
most dog trainers, ask any dog trainer that is effective dog trainers, what method they use. They always have a street bag on their belt. Why do you think that is? Okay, it works.
You just maybe remember something from a book I read called 9 Lies About Work. We haven't covered it yet, but lie number 5 was people need feedback. What the answer was, I'm recalling this study. So there was this factory back in, like, when they were doing studies about productivity and things like that, like in the Industrial Revolution and everything. It was all about how can we get more efficient and effective. So they were trying to figure out, like, how could they get their workers to work faster in this assembly line in this factory. So they started to fuck with all different kinds of things in the factory, like different lightings, different, break times, different, like, whatever. Like they just did like all these different kinds of things to mess with the workers and figure out, like, hey, like, if we did this, what is the result? Does it pick up, uptick? Does it not? Blah, 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 blah. And what they found was every single time they tried something, it would actually increase productivity. And whether it was a negative thing or whether it was a positive thing, it would always increase productivity. So a lot of the stuff they tried was actually negative stuff at first to see if they could get people to stay longer or lighting worse and stuff like that. Anyway, the weird thing was every time they would try anything negative, it would have an uptick. And then they just said, okay, well, let's try some positive things. And then they saw an even bigger uptick with some of the positive stuff. The funny thing was, after the whole entire psychology study, they realized it isn't what they were doing at all. It was the fact that they were doing anything and giving them attention. And number one, like, when you give people attention, like, they respond, right? And then they said, number two, they will respond to negative attention and they will respond to positive attention, but attention is the most important thing.
Right.
If you give them positive, it makes it even better. Like, so that was the summaries of the findings. It was like, do give them positive attention on things that you want you to focus on. And because people do need feedback and they like attention. People need attention. They need positive attention.
Because to me, in my opinion, humans have two brains, right? The primitive brain, which is the animal instinct brain, which is like the dog's elephant. Like, you talk about training your elephant, because you are two brains in one. You have this cognitive brain, and then you
I think
have
there's three. I have a theory there's three.
At least. I'm saying at least. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm saying at least two brains, right? So if you train a dog, you train an elephant, you train a tiger, I don't care who you train. You have to speak the language it understands, which is in reinforcement. Reinforcement is like I would say, is trying to think about elephant, right? You can't help but think about elephant, and then removes it because that's how the brain works. And so when you're talking about positive reinforcement, it trains the elephant. But because humans have this cognitive brain, negative emotion, negative enforcement, which is the negative test that they do, is actually more effective at first. Is it the head or whatever?
Fat head. Yeah.
Fat head, the fat head and long tail.
Yeah.
So the fat head is because we, as a cognitive brain, we understand that because, for example, I say I'm working on a project, and somebody comes and recommends and say, "Hey, you do a bad job, a shitty job. Go get your shit together, or you get fired." Right? What do you think I
You'll
do?
do it.
I'm
Yeah,
going to improve. I'm going to
Right.
improve. But after a while, it's going to go down, and completely, I am worse than before. Think about yourself. I mean, you go to a job and say, "Okay, I'll give you this job. If you don't get this contract, you're fired, Chris." Right?
Right.
You do, because this is in this, like, short term, your cognitive brain is the one that's processing it.
Right.
The elephant, like the system one, does not process until later because it's a slow process to get into the supercomputer. So the thing is, the immediate impact isn't what the elephant is doing. It is what the rider is doing. That's why, as a human, when you do the negative reinforcement, it actually shows improvement. That's a false positive because you think that it's working, but it's only because the initial processing is of the cognitive brain. The cognitive brain is going trying to avoid the negative effect of it. So it's going to try to do whatever. It's going to force the elephant to do whatever it needs to do to avoid the negative. But the elephant eventually is going to take over because the elephant is the elephant is the one walking on the ground, right? The rider is only, so the rider cannot be in focus forever. So eventually the rider gonna be out focused and elephant takes over. And after that, it's gonna become worse because it trains the elephant not to do the certain thing that it's supposed to do. So if you want to reprogram your subconsciousness, i.e. your elephant, you have to train that as if you're training an animal brain. So when you do the studies on human beings and you study on different, because the thing is, you're using two different measurements, right? Because you say, hey, if I were to do a psychological experiment on you and give you like this whip, the whip and the carrots, right? The whip actually, it makes more effectiveness initially.
Yeah.
But if you continue,
it'll definitely give you short term.
It can boost you very shortly because it's a positive, right? And so I'm saying is from the reflection you're saying is the way society does it, you need to flip it upside down.
Yeah.
You just don't try to. Negative is negative. Okay, it's not what you should focus on because, like, let's say among the thousands of skills and things I could do, right? Right? Should I focus on things I like to do or focus on everything else, right? And on things I could not do well. So you can't, like, okay, I need to learn how to do everything, and I'm going to focus on things that I don't do well, right? Or focus on things I like and do well. Just focus on that, and the rest is, well, I ignore it because regardless of I did not like it or did not want it or did not do well in it, regardless, because the failure in that is not part of your focus. So you have to focus on your strengths and build on your strengths. The weakness is, so the thing is, I'm asking you, do you have more strengths than weaknesses?
Probably not. I would hope not. I don't
Exactly.
think so.
So weakness is everything else.
Right.
Strength is what you like to do and what you can do, right?
Because this is versus your backhand conversation.
Let's say I don't speak Arabic. So do you think Arabic is a weakness for me? Of course, because it's not something I can do. I can't do it at all. Therefore, you can't consider it strength. So the thing is, I've read some books from Guru. They say, hey, you gotta focus on your weaknesses. Forget about your weaknesses. Focus on your strength. What can you do good? Focus on enhancing. Whatever you can't do is in your weakness bucket. So throw into that bucket. Who cares?
There's one huge important caveat to that. I agree 100%. If that weakness is preventing you from getting back to what you do well, then you have to focus on that until you can get back to what you do well. Like if you hit a really good forehand in tennis and people have figured out a way to just
that's not your weakness. That is your second strongest or third strongest or fourth strongest. The least strongest, not the weakness. Because the
No,
thing
no,
is,
no, no, no.
we can do backhand pretty well. Like let's say you play tennis and I don't play tennis at all. Do you think I would have a stronger forehand than you or backhand than you? I can't do any hand, right? So
No.
for you, you think it is as a weakness, but it's actually your strength. It's just not the number one strength. So you gotta focus. To me, strength is what you like to do and what you
Yeah,
can do pretty
it's what you
well
like to do. Right.
compared to the average of the world. Let's say you can hit a forehand or backhand, right? Compared to the average person among everybody in the world, like 7, 8 billions of people in the world, do you think you're in the top 10% in terms of the lowest strengths you have? Do you think you're top 1%? Because I
Yeah,
can't do any hand,
yeah,
my
I'm probably
kid
sure.
can't do any hand.
I'm
So to
sure.
me,
Yeah,
you consider that as a strength, not a weakness.
I see what you're saying. I think it's always a level of competition.
But then learning is an indicator of something's valuable to you. You're going to want to learn that regardless. And I think before you can even realize that, hey, this is a weakness I have, you already amassed enough hours and learning into that subject that you become already pretty good ranking in terms of that strength. Because
Right. Okay.
you're addicted to it. You're addicted to finding out how it works. Think about poker. Think about things you do, right? You just like completely addicted to, hey, how can I do this? How do you do that? You completely absorbed yourself into the
Yeah,
subject. Before you even think, okay, am I a good poker player? I mean, before you think that, you already had so much training already. Because
for
to
sure. I
me,
mean, yeah,
that is the leading indicator of your value.
right.
And to me, you don't have to focus on. You don't have to tell your elephant to focus on anything. By not even telling your elephant anything, it just gravitates towards. Let's say it needs water, right? You don't say, "Hey, elephant, go find water." You don't do it. You sit there. You just sit on an elephant. It will automatically go and find water.
Yeah,
That's what it
you
does.
know what's
You
funny
look
is
at the
like,
beaver, same thing. I don't need my rider to tell me to go find water. I'm going to go find water myself because that's what I want.
right. It's funny you say that because I've always told you my forehand is my biggest weapon in tennis. Ironically, that's what I'm having the most pain with right now from the area of my shoulder that's all jacked up, and I can't hit it right now. So my elephant keeps making me hit more backhands all day long, and I'm like, oh my god, this feels so much better. Whenever I get an opportunity to hit a backhand, even though I don't want to, like I'd rather run around to hit my forehand on any other given day. And my entire history of my life playing tennis, like I would never want to hit a backhand over a forehand if I had a choice. Like right now, it hurts so bad that my elephant's like, don't swing, like just go this way, like and I'm like, no, you hit the forehand. And then every time I do it, I'm like, ow,
I told you.
god, it's the worst right now. The elephants are smart,
The elephant is smart, so reinforce how it behaves, right? So you actually need to train it using positive reinforcement. And so to me, positive reinforcement has that long tail, and eventually, because then it likes it, it's going to continue to do even without you telling it to do, right? Because once by telling the elephant that you do a good job, it say, okay, yeah, I got it, I understand what you say, and then if you lead it to water once, it know how to get there again, and know how to find another water hole again, and go to, again and again, right? You don't have to tell. I mean, the thing is, you go, you smack. Let's say he goes to the bush, you smack it. They go to a dirt mountain, you smack it. It goes to the tree, you smack it. Like that was like, oh, I'm gonna
Hey
go
man, yeah.
to. I'm going to.
Give me a break, man. Yeah.
It's like, okay. How do I know? You think about training somebody like that. Imagine you.
No,
Let's
it's
say
awful.
some. Let's say
It's awful.
some God comes down to you. He doesn't speak English. He just smacks you, right? When you do something wrong, he just smacks you. It's like,
Right.
just tell me what you want.
I mean, it's so
It's like, go pick the
funny.
berries, bam.
Like I can't begin to tell you how weird it is because whenever I'm as a leader with my sales team or as a partner and tennis partner, doubles, pickleball partner, whenever my partner or my employees or somebody else needs help, I'm there to encourage them. I'm like, you got this. You can do this. I promise you. Just keep trying. This is what you do well. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'm like, I believe in you. This is how I talk to other people. Like I talk to myself by saying, the fuck, man, get your fucking shit together. It's almost comical. Like, I mean,
I
I've,
mean, it sounds like an Asian parent treating an Asian kid versus treating a white kid. It's like, oh, you got a C? Good job, Chris. Sure, you get an A. Average. Come on, do some more. Go. I expect like A plus 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 plus. It's like you got an A. Fuck.
I gotta find this guy. I gotta find this guy.
You got it. Good job. Yeah, try harder. You can do this. Yeah, you got it. Okay, mom.
I gotta find this guy for you because I think you would just be hilarious. Oh, here he is.
That's just Asian stereotyping.
What's that?
Just Asian stereotyping. That's what people do.
Can you hear this?
Are you showing something?
Yeah, ready?
Oh, okay.
This.
What the hell is this? You don't clean your room? Huh? What the hell? I let 100% natural seltzer. He's doing drugs. Don't think I don't know what this is. High school? Yeah. It's a computer chip better before homework. Oh my god, I turned it on. I know what this is. This is called the signal transmitter. It sent the signal to the sky. Hello, aliens. My son's a failure. Siri. Steven's internet history.
I can't do that.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? That your girlfriend? No, that's not that. No. A girl walking past the driveway. That your girlfriend? In school, I saw you had a classmate that was a girl. That your girlfriend? What are you doing? You hanging out with girls? Should be doing your homework. Don't give time to girls, okay? Also, when you're getting married, your mother want to know that.
That's exactly what Asian parents do. When you get married, what the fuck?
This guy's really funny. This is a. We got another one.
Hello, I am a professional Asian that I specialize in failure management. I try to find an artistic expression while healing the physical and emotional damage. Still, hold this pillow. It look easy to hold the pillow. It's not easy. You move, I will pin your ass, okay? I never look, I just whip his ass anyway. The unfairness delivers extra emotional damage. Very effective. Next, we have go get a stick for me to beat you with. Oh, that's gonna hurt like hell. Because Steven's so stupid.
Yes.
The smaller sticks hurt more. See, the big sticks are just sticks. The smaller sticks are whips. The confusion brings an extra, very special psychological damage. Very effective. We have to mention the slipper. You can have slipper unbound in 0.3 seconds. However, the defining trait of the slipper is the long-range capability. This weapon was invented before physics. When we were back in China.
It's like when I get beat up, I have to go get my own stick.
That's hilarious. Well, you clearly understand that world more than I do. I just find it hilarious.
So hilarious. It's true. I mean, it's so typical of Asian parents. Like I can tell you, like I had to go pick my own sticks so they can whip you with.
You should go find this guy on TikTok. He has so many of these and they're hilarious. His name's Stephen Hay or something like that. Anyway, I agree with you. Use positive reinforcement toward yourself and others.
That's why people like me are so damaged.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're joking about it, but you're right. I mean,
it's sad though.
You can't do this to yourself.
It's like I'm laughing, I'm crying right now. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm so sad.
Moral of the story is make sure you tell your elephant good job every once in a while.
No.
What?
No.
All the time.
All the time, not sometimes.
Yeah.
You have to flip it upside down.
Right.
But you say, well, do the like when it doesn't do well, don't say it. When it does well, say it.
Right.
Not the opposite way is, when it does well, don't say anything. When it does something bad, you spank it. So that's what we do as most society. That's what we do. We focus on the negative, whether it's like, you can say, well, I have done 999 right. Even one thing I've done wrong. That's what I remember for. It's not what I've done that's right. Because it doesn't matter. It's like I can save your life 1,000 times. The moment I couldn't save your life is when you curse me. You say, you're fucking useless.
Right. My grandma has a saying that's always stuck with me. She was like, you can get one all shit erases 10 attaboys, Chris. And I'm like, damn it, you're right. You can get as many attaboys as you want, but one all shit. And you're like, oh, yeah. I'm a failure.
I think it's important to emphasize on that because you have to completely remove the negative reinforcement away and just do the positive only. Right. I guarantee you are 4 times more effective.
Hey, I'm game to try this. So next time I play a tennis match, every time that I want to yell at my elephant, I'm not gonna say anything. And then every time that it's going to be really weird, and I'm going to feel really awkward, especially on the good
Yeah,
points
because you've
where I'm
been
going to be like,
trained the other way
I'm
for
gonna be
so
like,
long.
great job, elephant. You know, like I'll have to find some way to do it where it's not totally obnoxious to my opponent.
If you get them distracted.
There's this guy. He's
It's
this
fair and it's fair game.
well, so there's this professional tennis player. His name's Kevin Anderson. He was not that great for a really long time. He struggled for many, many years. He was really tall, 37 years old, whatever. He played at
6'8". Geez.
yeah, 6'8". He played at
Give
University
me
of Illinois.
height, man.
So Kevin Anderson, this guy, I just remember, this is probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something like that now. Out of nowhere, he just had this run of his life where he went to a couple major finals, and it seemed like he just was willing himself through matches and success and yada, yada, yada. And this guy in particular, the biggest thing that changed in him, it was visible to everybody. Like everybody saw it, and it was really annoying, actually. After every time that he did anything, you see him pumping his fist, he'd be like, yeah! You know, after every point that he did anything good, it was like, yeah! You know, like, and everybody would watching him would be like, man, that's fucking weird, man. Like, and he was like super vocal about it. And I think he probably went to some like psychology person that was like, tell your elephant good job or whatever. Like, because he was like crazy vocal about being, happy with his elephant. I wish I could.
Yeah, but this is what we say before. Elephants only speaks emotions. It does not speak English, Chinese, Arabic, Spanish, Italian, German, Latin, French. Doesn't matter. It speaks emotions.
Exactly. I'll have to send you a clip or something like that of this guy who's just, if you ever watched a Kevin Anderson match, back in the day, he's just going to be like, I'm so good. It was really interesting. So it's a good, fun conversation. All right. I feel like I'm ready to put a pin on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. What I'm saying is, flip it upside down. You have to use positive reinforcement, because that is how scientifically how the animal brains work. And we have two brains, and the brain that matters the most, because it runs 98% of all the processes. It is the system one brain. This is your subconscious, i.e. your animal brain. It controls majority of your functions. Yes, you have the cognitive brain that allows you to process the thinking, but it's only for short concentrations. So you have to use the method that the other brains understands.
Positive attention is better than negative attention. So I think I totally agree with you. That's good. I like it. This is helpful. I'm going to try my next.
And that is the art of living.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. No, that's pickleball and the art of living. Well, actually, it's Yomo and the art of living.
Yomo and the art of living.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for joining. And the question we can leave for you all is, are you giving yourself some time to enjoy the moments when things go right in your life? Tell yourself good job. And surround yourself with other people that are going to tell you good job too. So that's always a good thing. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep. Sounds good. See you guys.